All right, everybody, we're going to do straight edge sharpening is what we're talking about today. So a couple of basic things here. One thing when it comes to your catcher hone sharpener, one of the things you got to always make sure is that the plug on the bottom is clean. So this has all kinds of fuzz and metal shavings that have come off of it. So if this is dirty like this, the sharpener doesn't work as well. So the first thing you need to make sure that you do is make sure that your magnet, this is a magnet, so if it gets all gunked up, then it won't grab the metal shavings. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you clean that bad boy up, and it's just a plug on the bottom that pulls out of the bottom of the sharpener. So a couple of things we're going to test here, and my objective once again is I want to get this so where it just kind of falls through the paper. So you can see when I test this on the paper, not much happens. If I push, it'll cut through, but it's kind of dead. So on the sharpener, the first section does more of a coarse sharpening. The middle section is where most of the actual sharpening gets done, and then the third section on the right is basically removes any extra burrs. So in order to get this knife sharp, run it through the first section 4, 5, 6 times. I'm going to run it through the middle section, probably 10 or 12. And then I'm going to test it again. Now it's much sharper than it was, but it's not just falling through the paper. If I drag it, it feels pretty good. But if I just push it, if I push straight down with it, it's not cutting. It's more tearing. So this has a little bit of ways to go. So now at this point, I'm not convinced that this electric sharpener is going to get it to as good of a sharpening as I want it to be. So now I need to pull out my handy Cutco sharpener, which has disappeared on me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with the Cutco sharpener is I'm going to hopefully finish it on this. One of the things I found is that as long as there's shavings that continue to come off, this knife can still get sharper. So I'm going to drag it through here several times until I feel the blade smooth out. Now when I just push this blade down through the paper, instead of slicing with it, it's getting better. It's not there, it's not where I want it to be just yet, but it's getting better. Don't be afraid if you need to put a little extra pressure to get down to that next layer of steel to get it really, really, really razor sharp. Okay, so now, especially back here, Now it's real sharp. Now it's just kind of falling through the paper. Now you can see there's no resistance whatsoever. It's now just, I can just push it straight down and it's not ripping and tearing the paper anymore. You could probably even shave with it. So that's my objective, is to get these knives that sharp. So that's a chef's knife. Here's a paring knife. And again, this paring knife, completely dead. One of the things with these sharpeners is if we use this sharpener, it doesn't quite get the whole, base of the knife because the way it fits in there. So ideally, we just want to use this sharpener. Sometimes you run it through the handheld sharpener though, and nothing really happens. In those cases, I'll run it through the electric sharpener a few times to kind of get the sharpening started, and then you put it on the handheld sharpener and it'll go to work. The more of these sharpenings that you'll do, the more you'll get a feel for the knives as they kind of sharpen up and they smooth out. You can feel a big difference. So this isn't sharp yet, but it's definitely sharper. Much better, but not great yet. And now you can see it's not resisting at all, it's just gliding right through. We'll do one more. We've got a 4-inch paring knife. Again, completely dead. In this case, I'm going to put on the electric sharpener like we did the first one. 5 through the left. 10 through the middle. So this one got much better real quick with just the electric sharpener. So I'm going to run through here a couple more times in the middle. And then 4 times to the very last one. And now this sucker's razor sharp. So the key is just be as persistent as you need to be and keep testing it, keep sharpening, keep testing, keep sharpening until the blades get to where they're as sharp as you can get them. And that way when customers take them home, they're really, really, really happy with what you're doing as opposed to just having sharper knives. I want them to be as close to the factory sharp as we can get them with the straight edges for sure. All right, hopefully that helps.